take the hit, take the hit, take the hit. Welcome back to FPL Take the Hit. You're here with Mick and Joff, and we are going to get right into our Game Week 26 preview. Joffy boy, how are you?
I'm great. I'm ready to pump this out. Let's get it going. And what's your rank at? Where are you at anyway these days, Mick?
All right. Currently, I was sitting at 28k coming to this game week, but I've had a great game week. Got 72 points. Pretty happy. Firmino 3 assists. Thank you. So I've gone up to 17k in the world, mate. How about yourself?
Beautiful. Yeah, no, solid week. About 62 odd, something like that. So I'm roughly around 2k. I think it's like 2-1. So happy with that. And yeah, just split round this week. By the way, I wanted to mention that early as well. So there's like a split round. So there's games this week, and then there's games next week as well. So I think this is a Premier League first and looking forward to it, but just want to make everyone aware.
Yeah, excellent, mate. Thank you for that. All right, let's jump straight into fixture focus, Joffy boy. Who have you got for fixture focus looking at the next 5 game weeks?
Oh, well, kicking us off, we've got to go straight for Southampton, I think. I mean, they've just got some really tasty fixtures, especially in that, those next 5, like Burnley at home, Aston Villa at home, West Ham away, Newcastle at home, and Norwich away. Like that's some tasty deliciousness. Like obviously players like Ings or even some Southampton defenders. One name you'd like to mention, Mick?
Yes, indeed. New signing of Southampton, Kyle Walker-Peters, come over from the Spurs. Now, he's going to be nailing down that right-back spot, most likely. Now, he comes in at 4.4 million. I'm actually looking to bring him in myself, Joffy boy. Yeah, just a little sneak preview there. But I'm not going to bring him in just yet. Not until Hassan Hoodle gives me, just some confidence. All he has to say is something like, Kyle Walker-Peters is coming in. He's trained well. He's match fit. He will be available to play on the weekend. That could be enough for me to say, all right, I'll take the plunge. But aside from that, you might have to wait until he actually gets his first minutes on the pitch before you bring him in.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, there's other players like Stevens at the back there with 4.4. He's got 3 goals this season. He's looked good. And someone like even Redmond and James Ward-Prowse, these are other players that could enjoy a nice a bit of pointage in that run. And we'll move on to the next team. Who else we got, Mick?
Well, mate, we're like broken records here, but I mean, they're going to win the league. So obviously Liverpool with these kind of fixtures, they're so hard to ignore. I mean, you look at their run-up. They've got Norwich away next, West Ham at home, Watford away, Bournemouth at home, Everton away. I mean, easy fixtures for a team that can beat anyone. It's ridiculous. We can't pass it up. So I mean, it's the usual suspects. Like you got to be looking at players like Salah, either Trent and Robertson at the back, even Virgil at the back. But I mean, Henderson all of a sudden, Joff. I can't believe I'm saying this,
I know.
but he's got a goal assist in 2 of the last 3 games. So
it's pretty crazy.
Henderson's even an option. I mean, he's the captain, and he's getting up for it all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Even like Oxlade-Chamberlain, Joff. He's nailed a few in the last little bit as well. So it's crazy. This whole Liverpool team you can really go for.
Yeah, you need 3.
Mane will be back soon, hopefully. We'll see. I mean, Joff thinks he might be back for the Norwich game. I think he might miss it personally. And if Mane does miss that Norwich game, Joff, Bobby Firmino, 3 assists, mate. He looks like he's going to step in and step up to make up for that Mane loss. So that's what I'm really liking about Bobby Firmino, Joffy boy. But yeah, that's it, mate. Liverpool, pretty self-explanatory. I mean, you got to own 3 of these players over the next 5. It's pretty straightforward, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. And I guess before we jump into top transfers as well, I'll quickly touch on Mane as well. I just think that because it's a split round, if you've held him, keep a hold of him because they play on the 16th of February. And I mean, at the time of recording, what is this, the 3rd or the 4th of Feb? So there's still a fair few days of recovery in between. And I just hope that he's a massive differential for that Norwich game and they belt him like 8-0 and Mane does the business for me. I love it. But all right, well, moving on to top transfers. And you just mentioned a bit of him. Go on, continue.
Yeah, Sir Bobby Firmino. I've brought him in. I brought him in pretty early before the double game week, and he's done the business for me. He's got a goal and 3 assists in 3 games that I've owned him. And I mean, the thing I brought him in not just for the double game week, but because his stats wise, he's just been absolutely solid. He hasn't been converting as much as I would have liked, of course. But I mean, he's had 16 shots inside the box in the last 4 game weeks. That is equal with Aguero. Who's obviously scored a lot. He scored. The only caveat is Aguero scored 6 of those 16 chances, whereas Firmino scored 2.
Damn.
So Yeah, there is that obviously a little bit difference in class, but at the same time, Firmino does play for this Liverpool team that are going to score a lot of goals. So I'm still going to bang the Firmino drums, mate. So how about yourself, Joff? Who do you have for top transfers in?
All right. Well, this is kind of again with the form with the fixture focus. It's on the, along those lines. So just Danny Ings. I know that there'd be a few people that'd be frustrated because they got on him a little bit late. They missed that splurge of just goals, 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 and yeah. So it's just like a bit of a calm call for patience and bring him in. If you don't own him, I think it's a really good time to bring him in because this run that they've got. I mean, he's been managed the last couple of weeks, unfortunately, before basically, his spree was he was just scoring for fun, So it's something that just be patient with him, and I think bring him in. So if you own him, be patient with him. If you don't own him, consider bringing him in because this run, I can see a lot of goals.
Yeah, nice, man. I'm a non-owner, and I think I'm just gonna just keep riding these blanks out. Hopefully, he just keeps blanking for me. But I am actually fearful of not owning him for this run. So I understand where you're going with Ingsy there, Bob. All right, mate. Let's move on to it's time to go. Who is it, Job? Who is it time to go for?
Look, it's with a heavy heart this one here. I don't want to do this. This is very emotional. I mean, he's been so good to us for so many weeks. But John Lundstrom, man, I can't believe I'm saying it. Like,
Wow.
yeah, it's. I mean, he's lost. It looks like he's lost his spot. Obviously, that Burge. So they've just signed that Sandor Burge guy. It looks like he's got his spot. But the game before, it was Mo Besic that played as well in one of the cups or whatever. And it just looks like Johnny's lost his spot. So yeah, it's a bit of a painful one because you don't want. Yeah, you got all this value in him. It's like, oh, I don't want to. He might come back in. So I mean, like my suggestion would be if you can hold him, if he can be your last sub for a bit, you got him for 4 million, you can get away with it, do it. But if you're in a situation whereas myself, where I've got Kelly who doesn't play anymore, and I've got Lundy, I have to get rid of him. It looks like I've got to get rid of him. I've got to use that value and potentially get another Sheffield United defender. So yeah, sad Mick. But anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, no, you're right. It is very sad for old Sir Lundstrom to be getting the axe, mate. But yeah, obviously, like you said, yeah, moving on to another Sheffield player might be the key there. And there, players such as Kelly, who is obviously fallen out of favours now with Ward back as well. So we got like in both our personal teams, we both have Kelly and Lundstrom. So
Yeah.
go look for alternatives. So one of them does have to get the axe. So I'm not sure if which one's going to go for me yet. I haven't made that decision, but one of them has to go, obviously. So we'll have to wait and see, mate. But yeah, very sad days.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just like it was a bit of a moment of silence for John, huh?
Well, he's pulled up stumps for it this season.
He's been nice.
All right, mate. Well, let's move on to our punt of the week. Joffy boy, who are you going for your punt?
So today I am going for James Ward-Prowse. I think that he's a good option. I know it's a bit of a left field one, and he's worth 5.8. He hasn't been in the best form of late. He hasn't scored in it's roughly 10 game weeks, to be honest. So this is left field. I'm well aware. But when he's at home, he's always better, and he's on penalties. They're due a penalty. When he gets in a bit of form, he could be one to have. So I just think, again, with this run, I'm just riding the Southampton wave at the moment. I just think that Ward-Prowse could be one for this week, Mick. And what about yourself?
I'm going for someone who's actually in amazing form, but he's so under-owned. It's ridiculous. He's only owned by 1.4% of the game. Mr. Harvey Barnes, mate.
Man.
He scored 3 in 3 and he got an assist in that West Ham game as well. He's looked unreal. He should have had a second against Chelsea at the end there from that Vardy assist,
True.
but obviously put it wide. But he's been a revelation over the last 3 game weeks. Up until then though, he'd only scored a goal all season.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a little bit worrying, but at the same time, it seems like Leicester have hit this little slump, and Harvey Barnes has stepped up to really address that. So I'm really impressed with what I've seen from Harvey Barnes, and especially with the amount, with the lack of quality at the moment in the midfield of FPL game. I think someone like Harvey Barnes can definitely just slot into a 4th midfield spot or even a 3rd midfield spot for you and do a job, because I mean the form that he's in is ridiculous, and
pretty good.
Leicester have some decent fixtures coming up. So. Watch out for Harvey Barnes there. 5.9 million, Joff. He's cheap.
I like it. I like that shout. Really good.
All right, mate. Let's move on to our captain choices for game week 26 split round here, Joffy boy. It's going to be, if you do captain someone early, it's going to be, a long way.
Yeah.
To captain someone late. So
True.
very interesting this split round, how it's all going to unfold. But who are you looking at for your captain this week, mate?
I think I can't go past Salah. I mean, with those triple captain points and then the captain points from last week, I think you got 16 for the triple captain and then you got 16 again. So, I don't know. I just can't go past that. I feel like that's the option. I think you might be on that as well. But I mean, as an alternative, potentially Aguero could be one for me as well. But I just can't go past Salah. Doing 16 and 16 with a triple captain and captain, I like to reward my players when they look after me, So probably Salah. And what about you, man?
Yeah, I think Salah's probably the go-to option this week. He was the same in game week 25, and I'm pretty sure people would be silly not to captain Salah this week.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you want to go a bit different, you could go someone like Firmino again. This Norwich should be up for a battering from Liverpool, I'd imagine.
Up for a battering.
But I mean, if you don't want to go Liverpool, you can go someone like Sergio Aguero or even Kevin De Bruyne. As much as they're in the best of form, that West Ham team is just absolute shambles. They're going to concede like 6 to City. I can see absolutely just steamroll the Hammers. Definitely, I reckon you go for City or a Liverpool player this week. It looks like that's the way that it's written. Excellent, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, hit the subscribe, give us a like, and we'll be back very, very soon. Joffy boy, thank you for joining me.
And again, just be careful with this split round. So obviously, any players that are injured or whatever in the second round of fixtures, just be open-minded that they might return. Just want to put that out there.
Yep, beautiful, mate. Thank you very much, Joff. As we said, help you take the hit. Always remember to stay positive.
Keep chasing them green arrows, guys.
Thanks, guys. Ciao.
Thanks.
Take the hit. Take the hit. Take the hit. Take the hit.